Welcome back to Piece of Chaos. Thank you once again for bearing with me and joining. Oh man, let's see. It's been a few weeks since Jake was here, my cousin, and man, it was so good to have him around. And I'm so psyched that he's in California, so hopefully I'll see him again real soon. So, I thought I would discuss this week a couple of things. One is, I hope that you got to, well, it's been raining like crazy here in California. Excessive rain, hail, crazy winds. I've kind of had it with the winter. We've gotten a ton of rain, and I know we need it, and, I live in the desert, so rain is good. I don't remember seeing it so green here in many years, so that's kind of cool, I guess, but it does make some things annoying, the dog in particular is a pain when it's raining because she doesn't like to go out. And she doesn't like to go for walks, so she gets a little bit rammy when you have a puppy. But the reason I bring it up is because it's been really cloudy, and it obscures the sky, and it obscures the stars. And this past week, in the sky, there was a really cool alignment of planets. You could see Venus and Jupiter in line with the moon. And I don't know if this is true. I should look it up. But I think the last time this alignment happened coincided with the fall of Rome. I think I saw that could have been a meme or a mistake or complete bullshit. But I thought that was kind of interesting. So I took a photo as best I could when I saw it in the brief time that there were no clouds in the sky, or a couple clouds in the sky, but you could still see it. It was amazing. It was amazing to see. I think that's one of the biggest problems with society today, is that we aren't in awe of what's overhead all the time. We don't see it enough. I think we could all do with taking a look up at the stars sometimes and getting perspective. So anyway, hopefully you got to see that, or at least saw some photos of it. Some people got some really awesome shots of it. I saw some really cool pictures of it on Instagram. There's a photographer on Instagram. I'll put the link in the show notes if I remember. I think it's called Cosmic Background on Instagram. He takes amazing moon photos, and anytime there's any kind of solar event, he really does some great work to put some cool shots up there. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So I took my kids skiing for the first time, and it was a challenge, to say the least. I've been skiing since I was pretty young. I don't know, teenager, maybe we were teenagers when I learned how, but maybe like 13, and that's about the age. My son's 12, so, I think that's about when I learned, but, you always see on the mountain kids that are like 4 just flying around, and you just know they're going to be so good by the time they're a little older, because it's a weird thing to learn. It's a very hard thing to learn. And as I discovered, it's a really hard thing to teach. It really made me think about breaking it down to the fundamentals. I mean, people always tell you, it's, snowplow, and I think they call it pizza and French fries now for the alignment of your skis when you're skiing, when you're learning. But I mean, that really is horribly oversimplifying it. There's a lot more to it if you want to explain it to somebody that's trying to figure it out. You can point your skis together and make the shape of a pizza, but you also have to dig in the inside edges. There's just a lot to it, and was trying to explain it, not to mention getting all the equipment on and the boots and clicking into the bindings on the boots. And, that takes a certain strength and muscle movement that doesn't really come naturally to you. It's a very strange thing. But, so I taught my son to ski. And the first day there was, a lot of tears and a lot of frustration. And I was at a place that I didn't know very well, that I didn't know the layout of the mountain very well. And, sometimes when you look on the trail map, it looks like it might be simple, but, and I forget too that, it's been, I don't know, 40, 35 years since I learned to ski. So I don't really think about it in a blue square that leads to a green circle, seems like it wouldn't be too bad. But it was. It ended up being, kind of scary for the kids to go up on a lift that high and just kind of look down the mountain and not know how you're going to get down. And, after a couple of runs on the bunny hill, you think, you're okay. As long as you can stop, as long as you know how to stop, you'll be all right. But man, sometimes you push too hard, too fast, and you can really take a person somewhere they don't want to be. And that's what happened on day one. We got a little ahead of ourselves, but we figured it out. And by day two, he was jetting down the hill. He did pretty well. So hopefully that becomes something that we can do more often. I do enjoy it. And mostly it was just seeing, the difficulty through their lens, but even more so seeing the joy of success through their lens, and seeing just how good it can feel to accomplish something that's really difficult, and get that confidence back. I think in the moment, it's very difficult. I was, it's kind of like spring skiing season now, so it wasn't like cold. It was probably in the 40s. And when you have all your ski gear on and you're walking up the hill and trying to reattach everybody's equipment and get them back in their boots and all that kind of stuff, sweating like crazy. And, I don't know, if you've never been skiing, this doesn't make any sense. But if you've been skiing, and especially if you've tried to teach someone to ski, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it was an okay way to learn how to ski. I think I was pretty patient. I think I did the best I could. I never got instruction. I just went skiing with my friends, and they were all better than me at the time, and they're just kind of like, just do this, and then they disappear. And I remember the first couple days on the mountain just being miserable and wet. And I mean, the equipment sucked, and it was heavy, and the boots were uncomfortable, and the clothes, I think we were wearing jeans, so you're just cold and wet. The equipment's so much better now. I mean, you don't get it wicks off the snow, and you don't get soaked to your bone. But it's weird that it was so long ago. Like, if I saw pictures of us with our jeans and gaiters on at a good old shout out to Spring Mountain in Pennsylvania. But the place we went, it was called Dodge Ridge. It was really cool. It was like a bit of a throwback spot. They had, the old sticker and wicket lift tickets and hanging off your jacket, and it was really cool. I mean, it was cool. It was cool to see my son skiing. I have to say. Like, to watch him do it and not fall, he was so proud of himself. And as he should be. I mean, it's not an easy thing to figure out. And but I told him, skiing is one of those things that it's like riding a bike, except it's nothing like riding a bike. It's once you know how to ski, you know how to ski. I think for your entire life, it's a muscle memory thing. So, I was like, look, this first day is going to be pretty rough, but tomorrow will be better, and it was. The whole second day, I think he only fell like once or twice. And, he's not like ripping down the mogul runs yet, but he can get down on a green circle, and I was really proud of him, and I can't wait to go with him again and see him enjoy it. And he wasn't cold, he wasn't miserable, he didn't get hurt. He did smack his face on a tree branch, though, when we took the wrong lift up way too high in the mountain. And it wasn't even that bad it wasn't that steep of a run, but it was narrow. So, and it was tree lined and narrow. So it was a little hectic because, if you figure you can't stop and you run into a tree or go off the trail. I mean, it was at the trail boundary. So it's the trail, and then on either side is just kind of a drop off. So it was a little hectic. I was definitely nervous for him. And he got going a little bit and couldn't turn, and there were some branches hanging out, and he kind of smacked him with his face. He's fine, but it was just funny. They were just like little branches, But it was a trip. And my kids really had never seen snow. Real snow. We went to I forget the name of it. I think it's called Mount Baldy. It's like 45 minutes off the 101 freeway in LA, and it's one of these things. There's one lift, and you can basically go tubing there. I think they have skiing, and like the lift is like old and wood, and doesn't have a bar that drops down, and the elevation might only be like 2,000 or 3,000 feet or something. So we went there to go tubing last year or the year before. But the snow was really icy, and you couldn't pack it up. You couldn't even make a snowball. So that really didn't count. So this was their first time really being in the mountains. And seeing snow like that. And, man, after we left, I think this week this latest storm, they were getting like 3 feet or something. So, there might be an opportunity even this year yet before the season's over. My friend that lives in Lake Tahoe told me that they'll probably be skiing to July up there. So they just got piles and piles of snow. So these weather events, man, it's crazy. As long as I've lived here in California, I don't remember seeing rainstorms like we've gotten in the last month or two here. And so I'm looking forward to summer and sun and the dryness, even though the rain is good. It comes in like big several week-long chunks, and it's just not fun. I like a nice rainstorm in the summer once in a while, but this has been a little much. It gets a little scary. Everything floods, and you get landslides, and I saw some crazy pictures of the I-5 freeway just overflowed and cars floating down the freeway, and California's just not prepared for this much water, and in fact, we don't make the most of it and capture the water that we so desperately need when we're in drought situations. So that we can not have issues with needing water. So it's interesting. I don't know if there's anywhere good you can live that doesn't have something going on. Fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, too much rain, too much snow, too cold, too hot, too muggy, too many bugs, too many hurricanes. Everywhere on this planet has something going on weather-wise. Mother Nature does not play. There's just always something. But I think here is pretty special most of the time, and I think we're very lucky, very fortunate to be here. And so, yeah, that's my skiing story. And then I have the only other thing that's going on is I have a new puppy. She's not quite a puppy anymore. She's almost a year old. Her name is Maud, and she has such a different personality than our other dogs that we've had before. Also, she's an ornery puppy. Puppies can be a pain in the neck, but this one, she's a unique character, man. She figured out a way to escape out of our yard, which is luckily she only escapes to the neighbors behind us. That's also fenced in, but she found the weak spots in our fence, and it's like, what do you? You got to wonder, like, what are you doing? Where are you trying to escape? Why are you doing this? I try to put myself in the mind of the dog. She's got couches to sit on, beds to sleep on, toys, food. But it seems more fun to bust through the fence and bother the neighbors. I don't get it. So I got a good relationship with the neighbors now. We exchange phone numbers. So when she gets over there, I give them a call and say, hey, I'll be by with the leash, because she won't come the other direction. She only goes one way through the fence. She's a really nice dog. She's really sweet. She's not really doing any harm. She's just a nut. She's a nut. She's a puppy, and she's a nut. But while we were, the not so funny part of that is, while we were away, I didn't know there were holes in the fence. I don't think they were caused necessarily by the dog. I think she just found a couple of spots that she pushed on with her nose and realized she could get through. But she'd never done that before. But while we were away, apparently she figured it out. And the person we had staying here to watch the dog, probably was losing her mind, because the dog just escaped. And can you imagine? You're watching somebody's dog for them, and the dog escapes, and you don't know where they are. It's probably a trip. So I feel bad for her having to go through that. But we're going to have to patch up that fence. Maybe I'll learn how to weld in the process. So, yeah, that's it for this week. I really appreciate you. Keep the letters coming. Keep the emails coming. Got a pretty special episode coming up next week, I think. As long as everything plays out as expected, I should have a pretty special episode next week. We're going to have a fun guest in the studio too, which, as you heard with Jake's episode last week, it's a different vibe. Not just because I'm not by myself, but also it's just the in-person thing is better, I think. So looking forward to that. And again, if you have any suggestions or ideas for guests on the podcast, please let me know. Drop me a line. If you get a chance to rate and review the podcast, that would be awesome. It does help push the podcast for whatever reason. I don't know. Who cares? But I want to thank you for listening, and appreciate you, and can't wait to get in here in later this week, do another episode, and we'll get that out as soon as we can. And do me a favor, if wherever you live, the night sky's out there and you can get to someplace dark and have a look, just look up there. It's incredible. It's incredible. We are hurtling through space on a planet, and sometimes we kind of lose track of that. And, yeah. So, thanks again for listening to Piece of Chaos. I'll be back soon, and yeah, thank you. Be well.
Yes, I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair ain't never gonna go too well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know too well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything come what might for the sake